up, get out right out of your bed, that's your quicksand. Getting rid anxiety and head, you can fix it. Rid of stigmas, all of them you said, we ain't listening. Just remember, try to do your best, you can win this. Maurice Benard, State of Mind.
All right, here we are, Sunday, State of Mind. And I just want to say, if you like what you see, please hit the button, subscribe. Everything's going great, and the more you push that button, the better we are. So today I have someone who is absolutely, I'm like a fangirl right now, I gotta be honest. Because, you know, once upon a time, I watch all the reality shows, you know, American Idol, X Factor, America's Got Talent. And one day I was watching TV, and this young girl, little girl, came on, and it was like angels were coming out of her mouth when she sang. It was so amazing and angelic. And I was a huge fan, and my whole family were watching. And then she kept, you know, going further, further, further. Now, I thought she won, and I still thought she won until I read today, when I was doing some research, that she got second place. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all, because the whole world loved her. And she went on to, you know, bigger things. And I just thought it was amazing watching this little girl sing opera. Can you imagine opera? No, I can't. All right, anyway, enough of me, you know, talking. We have Jackie EVANCHO on State of Mind. Can you believe this? Hi.
Hi.
So I told her that I don't do Zooms. So if I'm a little uncomfortable, that's why. But she's going to make me comfortable.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say.
So let's get into, like, you grew up in Pittsburgh. You were born in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
How was Pittsburgh? How was Pittsburgh?
It was a really fun experience for me. I like how everybody there is very much family, even if you're not actually family. And you kind of get like the best of both worlds. You have the bougie people, but you also have the people who don't mind, you know, playing around in the mud. And so I had the best of both worlds. So it was fun. You know, I grew up with ducks.
Ducks?
Yeah, ducks, goats, all sorts of stuff, actually.
You know, I have alpacas and goats and 8 dogs, like 8 parrots, snakes.
Isn't it fun?
Yeah, I got to be honest. Listen, it is great. Animals are great. Children are great. But the amount of dogs that we have is just too many. And when they bring the dogs to my apartment in L.A., because I live in, you know, Temecula, 2 hours away, there's just too many dogs in one little area. And I keep saying, and the thing about my family is they keep getting more dogs because rescues.
I get it.
Right?
I get it. Oh, yeah. We used to do the dog thing, too. And then I moved out. But we still, in the family, there's like 8 dogs.
You have it?
We all, yeah.
Wow.
We all love dogs.
Wow. So are you a Pittsburgh Steeler fan?
I am. I'm not extremely sports oriented.
Right.
But I do like watching the Steelers games because it's a big family event.
Yeah, I used to watch the Steelers early on with Terry Bradshaw and
Yep.
all that kind of stuff. But I'm a San Francisco 49er fan.
Ah, does that mean we're enemies?
Well, I think you've won 6 Super Bowls. We've won 5.
So technically we are enemies. But
Yes.
we're not getting
Yes. We have to win 7.
I've got to win 7. We've got to win 7.
Right. Hey, am I looking at the up there? I'm looking at her, and that's not right. I think she knows how to do it. I have to look at the camera, right?
I think you're doing just great.
Does it look fine?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
All right, whatever. So how many brothers and sisters you got?
There's 4 of us total. I'm second oldest, and then I have an older sister, younger brother, younger sister.
Wow. How was it growing up? That's a pretty big family, no?
It's a pretty big family, and at one point in the same house, we had 4 dogs, 4 siblings, mom and dad, the 12 ducks, 2 cats. Like it was a cluster, but it was so fun, you know. Having a big family is great.
What's up with the ducks? I mean, what are ducks like? I mean, we got little baby ducks one time, but then they put them somewhere. I don't know. But ducks are cool, or how are ducks?
Ducks are awesome. I loved having ducks, and you know we had eggs all the time.
Oh,
So
you
that was
did?
By that, duck eggs are basically the same. They're just a little rubberier.
Yeah.
It was sad though because having ducks, they're out in nature and they just get picked off one by like hawks. And
Oh, yeah,
owls.
right. You
That's
know,
the reality of life.
you know what's funny is you just said duck egg. I didn't even know that like you could eat duck eggs.
Oh really?
I just went like, whoa, what you eat duck? That's chickens, but ducks you can eat.
Yeah, I guess if it's got feathers, you can eat their eggs.
I guess. And what does it taste like?
The same. It's just texture is the difference.
Ah.
They're a little like rubberier, thicker, but it's just like overcooked eggs.
So tell me about high school and stuff. How was that?
High school was it was interesting for me, I think. Had I stayed in public school my whole life, I think that I would have had a lot more acceptance and a lot more friends. But I was in and out from like day 1 of starting my singing, and I was 8 at the time. So I didn't really get to develop a whole group of people. And then once I was back in high school, it was way more cutthroat, and everybody had their cliques, and I'm trying my best to fit in. And they just didn't really accept me all that much. But I did have a good amount of people that were in a smaller group who took me in, the stray that I was, and I managed to get through it. But not everybody was accepting.
No. Were you doing theater too, or just singing?
No, I was just doing singing. My choir teacher begged me after America's Got Talent to be in her choir, to the point where it was like harassing.
Really?
Yeah, I feel bad, but I didn't have the time for choir anyway.
Dang. So what about opera? Did you get into opera at that young age? You started isn't opera like that's the top, right? As far as singing.
Right.
If you can sing opera, it's like doing theater. If you can do theater as an actor, you can probably do anything, which I don't necessarily think that's true, but that's fine. But how was it?
I was 8 when I started singing, and it was immediately opera because I was introduced through the Phantom of the Opera, and that is kind of like Broadway opera mix. And then through there, I was learning opera arias, and I was studying Renee Fleming and stuff like that. But I was never classically trained, and I would say that each genre is very, very different. I would, I guess, disagree that if you can sing opera, you can sing anything.
Right.
There's a big challenge that I face and still face of like opera is very prim and proper pronunciation.
Yeah.
But with pop stuff or anything that's more casual, it's okay to slur your words together and to have that edgy little rasp to your voice here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect. So my first times singing pop, the approach was too perfect and it didn't sound right. and I had to kind of train it out of myself. So now I have 2 programs in my brain.
Really? So that's
Yeah.
a transition to make that not everybody can probably make.
Yeah. I think it takes a long time to sort of discipline yourself with it. And what really helped me to do that was with songwriting and recording at home. Because I have a specific image of what I want it to sound like. If it doesn't get there, I just repeat and repeat. And through the repetition, it helps.
But I would say that most people who are singers, not opera singers, can't sing opera.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would agree with that.
Right.
It's possible if you put your mind to it, but not many people have that natural inclination to do it.
I mean, maybe what's the guy from Guns N' Roses?
Axl Rose.
Axl Rose can. And there's another guy too that I met. What the hell's his name? He has that kind of voice that you think could sing. So let's talk about just the people that you've sang with, who I'm fans of, and everybody is. And like Tony Bennett, my dad, who God rest his soul, died about 1.5 years ago. He just loved Tony Bennett, man. And I even yeah, I mean, I even sent him at a concert near my house to see Tony Bennett, and he was through the moon, you know. How was he? Was he very nice, obviously, right?
Oh yeah, Tony Bennett was one of my top experiences with duetting with people. So humble.
Yeah,
You can tell. I mean, his stage presence is basically just what he's like. He's humble, charismatic, welcoming, and I think I was 12 or 11 when I did my duet with him.
Damn.
I know, but I knew who he was even back then. You know, I grew up listening to him, especially around Christmas time, and it was just surreal to sing next to him. But the big thing for me was that he brought his puppy.
Oh, he did?
He did, and he just let me play with his puppy backstage. And it's funny because growing up in the industry, I have like landmark moments in my life, not just because of who I was singing with, but you know, when you're growing up, you pluck your eyebrows for the first time, you shave your legs for the first time, right? Mine was, I was trying to shape my eyebrows for the first time during that show.
Wow.
And so I accidentally shaved the middle of my forehead, so my eyebrows were super far apart. And it was extra embarrassing because I'm singing next to Tony Bennett and I messed my face up.
So you're thinking about your face a little bit as you're singing?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's just human nature, you know?
Now, do you think Tony Bennett, knowing, I don't know him, but who he is, brought the puppy to make you feel more comfortable?
No,
he
I
just
think
brought it.
One of those cool
Wow.
dudes that like puppies.
That's interesting. Yeah, wow. Now,
Yeah.
Barbra Streisand is like I think, maybe the greatest singer for me in history, as far as, yeah, especially a woman. How was she? She was...
I unfortunately never got to meet her in person.
Oh, it was like
It was
meshed in?
studio
Damn.
mat. But from what I heard, she was a big fan of the duet that I did with her. David Foster, he produced the duet, and he's super good friends with her. So
Oh,
he
wow.
relates very back.
Now, David Foster's the man.
Mm-hmm.
That's not... I mean, that guy has helped everyone, right?
Yeah, he's the hitman.
He's the hitman. Earth, Wind, and- yeah. Damn.
I met David Foster way before I was even on America's Got Talent, actually. This was like when I was 9, and he was hosting this talent sort of concert search in Jersey, and I showed up for it, and lost that one too.
Oh,
But
you
hey,
did?
It works out. Yeah. It all
Now,
works out.
he just saw you singing and he said this... Did he start helping you then?
No.
Oh.
No. Somebody else won that whole situation, and he helped them. I forget who they were.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess. But yeah, years later, I got to work with him, and it was funny. I don't even think he remembers that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you are the youngest person to ever have a top three album. Is that the way it works? I mean, did that stuff when you get that stuff when you're young, especially, does it? Or of course you're happy, but you just keep moving forward, right? I mean.
Yeah, I mean, when I was that age, you know, my parents came to me and they were like, "That's so cool, you got platinum," and all that stuff. But I mean, one, I'm new to this entire world, and two, I'm more concerned about like what I'm gonna be eating for dinner, when I get to friends. You know, the gravity of these things that are very much the adult world.
Yeah.
Did not. It does now.
Yeah. Now, what is platinum? What does that mean? I don't even know. Like you sold how many albums? What is platinum, gold, and everything else? What does it mean?
I don't know. That's so embarrassing.
No, it's not embarrassing because it makes you humble. I love it because somebody else would be. This is what it means. Bum 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 bum. I hear always platinum and gold, and I wonder, well, what does it really mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like you grow up and you learn things, and you know they're important. The sky is blue. Do I know why? Not necessarily.
Right.
Platinum's important. Do I know why? Not necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. So you got into acting.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about acting. I know a little bit about acting.
I know.
How is it? How is acting for you? What is it like?
It was really fun, but it was a whirlwind of emotions because, first of all, Robert Redford, amazing actor.
Yes.
He'd reached out to me without even without even auditioning, and he said, "Would you like to be in my movie?" And of course, I said yes, and Ben sent in an audition so he could confirm if it'd be worth it. So I get there, we film in Canada, and it was crazy because it was so far out of my element, and I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
Wow. Let me just tell the audience who's in this movie. It's unbelievable. Robert Redford, Shia LaBeouf, Susan Sarandon, Chris Cooper, and there's many others, but those are. So she's how old were you?
Then I think I was 12 or 13.
Oh my! So you're 12 and 13. You get on a movie set with all these actors, and I don't know who the director was, and then what happens?
I didn't even know at the time who everybody was. The only one I actually knew of was Shia because of Transformers.
Right.
I never actually got to meet him. We did have a scene together that ended up not being filmed. But Robert Redford was so down to earth, kind of similar to Tony Bennett, just super cool.
Yeah.
He did not mind being patient with me and guiding me. And there was a point where I think the first few days of filming, I was struggling to let loose and be a character.
Yeah.
And he kind of had a discussion with me about it, and he helped loosen me up with it. And then I was too much like out there in myself. So we pulled it back in and found a great, easy medium. And it was just really fun. And then there was the whole premiere afterwards where Stanley Tucci is in the elevator with me, and I had no clue who it was until years later. So that sucked, but it was cool at the same time.
How long what did you shoot for?
I think in total a little over a month, but it was 2 weeks on.
Dang. And what did you think about acting?
I loved it. It was hard for me because I was super shy and self-conscious. But as I've gotten older and I recall all that stuff, it was so much fun, and I'm able to let go of the insecurities and stuff and play a character. So I think I would love it even more now, but I did love it back then.
I can teach you how to act.
By all means.
That's what I've done a lot of.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't know if singing is like, see, for me, I studied I'm a method actor, right? Which means I use everything from life and put it into the work.
Right.
Which, for acting, I play a character on a soap opera, General Hospital,
Yeah.
right? Where, you know, he's bipolar, I'm bipolar. Now, for life, my kind of style works. Not for life, for acting, but in life, it's not good.
Yeah.
Because, and it's hurt me a lot, even just recently. So, is that what you kind of do in singing? When you see when you're looking at the words and whatnot, do you put your own life in there?
Yeah, actually.
See, I could be a singer then.
You could be, absolutely. There's been many a show where I'm going through something in my life, and or something has happened, and I feel it as I'm singing, and I have to try really hard not to cry, which is challenging.
Yeah, but you can't cry because it will kind of take you out. Is that what happens? Or it just
Yeah,
wouldn't make sense?
Your throat closes up a bit when you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does affect my singing, and I'll start wobbling, and then that makes me panic more. But yeah, I mean, it's a very emotional thing, just as acting is, and I do tap into it because it's my life, it's my truth. And
Yeah.
that's right.
And also, I say, you always have to work easy. It can't be work hard, because you know that's why you have to be so relaxed, right? When you're singing, acting is all about relaxation. But anything is relaxation. Sports, the more relaxed you are, the better. Yeah, I remember when I first started General Hospital, I was like a nervous wreck all the time, but I could use it. You can't tell, but it was not. But now I'm so relaxed, much better actor, because you're more relaxed.
I actually can relate to that a bit with acting because I've been studying Meisner and all that.
Oh, Meisner!
Yeah.
And you know what Meisner is? Meisner is the what if, right? The what if.
Right. It's hard because what I found when I cracked it a bit and I understood it better was I had to let go of like my abs, my stomach, in order to actually feel enough to cry if I had to in a scene and feel more genuine because I hold all of my anxieties and stresses in my stomach, and the moment that I relax it, I'm able to tap into that more, which I found to be really interesting. You're right about the relaxing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, people, state of mind audience knows. After the pandemic, I went through 4 months of hell during the pandemic, and I got through it and went back to work. And I had to do an Alzheimer's storyline where my father was dying of Alzheimer's. And then my real father was dying of Alzheimer's at the same time. So I went in and I knew to stay relaxed and don't act, just say it. And that's what I did through the whole thing. It just say the lines. And what was coming out, crying, it's coming out. But I wouldn't push at all. And that's the key, man. Now, if I had done that scene, that storyline 10, 15 years ago, I'd have been pushing. I need to win an Emmy. Oh, give me the tears. I need to win. But this time I didn't do it. I actually won 2 Emmys from that storyline, yeah. But it was not pushed at all. And then I learned just stay in the moment and just relax and don't make it hard, make it easy. Now, see, if I taught you, I'd have to take you away from the Meisner. But I don't know. You know, the method acting can be difficult just because you should leave it on the set and not take it home. You know.
Yeah.
And
I think that would be hard for me because I'm a very deeply passionate, sort of connective person.
Yeah.
And do take things on as myself.
Yeah.
And I think I'd feel it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me ask you something, because I've asked a lot of people this. My son doesn't care what people. I used to care. I'm trying to get through it. Care what people think. My son doesn't care what people think. My wife doesn't care what people. And usually for me, I've asked a lot of people. The people who don't care what people think are not mentally ill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you agree with that? Do you care what people think?
It depends. I do. This is such a hard question for me. I think I like to put on the persona that I don't care what people think. I think sometimes I can tap into that role I play. But at the end of the day, I do very much care what people think. And I find a lot of my value in what people think of me.
Damn.
And it morphs into self-criticism. I sort of take on all of these opinions other people have of me, and I scold myself, and now the biggest critic I have is myself.
Yeah, but that's something you got to work on, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've been working hard on it.
It's a bitch, right?
Oh yeah.
Because I used to care so much, and after about 3 manic episodes, anxiety, depression. Now this is going to be interesting to talk about because I just went through something. I'm only now realizing that I've made some major mistakes in my mental health. And I'm the guy who is, Mr. Mental Health. I've been talking about this for 40 years. But only now have I realized I should have been in therapy like crazy. And I wasn't. Because somebody once said about me, you were arrogantly ignorant.
Interesting.
Right? Right.
Wow.
And they were right. And that was about 25 years ago. But now I'm doing what needs to be done. And thank God. Because I can't deal with any more suffering.
Yeah. I think I feel that to a degree, some. Yeah.
So let's get into that a little bit, just because it is a mental health show. Mm-hmm. You were in a car accident. Mm-hmm. And what happened? You broke your... Something happened, right?
Yeah, I broke my back in 2 places. I guess it's important to include that for years before this had happened, how many years? It's 15 when it started. 5 years before I had started to develop disordered eating. And I mean, from day one, it spiraled and it spiraled and spiraled. And I'd done treatment centers and programs, and it never sticks.
Why?
And I don't know. I think that there's something in my brain that says this is all BS.
Wow, yeah.
And it just wants to sabotage myself. I think that there's a big piece of me that believes it's what I deserve, or that's all I'm worth. But at that point in my life, it had really started to kick into high gear. And then I got in this car accident. And I thought I was totally fine. I climbed out of this car and I hopped off of it and landed on the cement. Because we landed on our side and the airbags didn't work. So I just slammed into the cement on the side. Thought I was fine, got in the ambulance, and found out that I broke my back. And that was a result of osteoporosis that I got from being malnourished for years.
What's that? I'm not even going to say it.
Osteoporosis is weakened bones, and it's typically elderly people begin to have that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then then you got help, or what? How did you get through, or it's still, how does that work? Is it a whole process forever? Is that how it is, or?
I think so, yeah. After I, saw the bone doctor and all that, he was like, we should do a bone density scan. That still has yet to happen, so I really don't know where I stand.
Wow.
I doubt it's much better because the disordered eating is still very prevalent.
Oh.
Despite fighting, there's always going to be fighting. I'm doing what I can with therapy and everything, but there's only so long that I can put my life on hold before it ruins everything else, and then that perpetuates the eating disorder further, because I feel like I failed my life, And so I think moving forward and fighting as I move forward is important. But I mean, I'm sitting there with a back brace, and I know I need to eat through myself to heal. And yet I'm still restricting, and I'm still fighting off the voices that are in my head saying, you're going to get fat, you're going to do this and that. And I do think that feeling like you have no control is a big piece of it.
Yeah.
And I know that that's the cliche, but there's also a numbing agent to it that I think was a main driver for me and still can be.
Wow, what's funny, it's not funny, but what's amazing is you're talking about yourself, and I'm thinking about what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, we're both, like, you're still going through your thing, and I'm still going through my thing when I thought I was good.
Yeah.
And then anxiety comes and knocks me on the head,
Mm-hmm.
and now I got to get back up, and I say to myself, when is this shit gonna end? Can I swear on this? Oh yeah, it's YouTube. When is this shit gonna end, man?
Yeah.
What if I'm 61 years old, Jackie?
Dang. Look good, dude.
Well, that's what I wanted, that compliment at that moment. And you just kind of go, how much more of this can I take? And a lot of what you said rings true to me at this moment.
Yeah, I especially recently, I'll have moments where I'm like, you're gonna die, And it's really scary because it's a pretty big reality. Like, the stats are 1 in 3 of people with my diagnosis do end up dying. And it's very painful, that realization, to the point where I disconnect from it. But I need to keep feeling it, or else there's no motivator for me to really fight.
Wow.
Self-loathing is a big piece of it.
I know.
It's awful.
But that's what I say. I just said it. On my State of Mind tomorrow, I did a solo about what just happened to me, and I say, and my friends here who watch me during this, now I'm getting emotional now, but I say this is a very selfish illness. It's all about me, me, me. I'm hurt. I'm in pain. I don't know what to do. Help me, please. And it's very selfish. And the people around, it's amazing. Although I want to say this: I believe in God. So God has helped me through so much. But I even asked God, well, can you just stop this? But it's not his fault. It's our fault that we don't do what we're supposed to be doing, whether it's mentally or physically. Okay, Jackie. That's beautiful what you said. It really is. It's gonna, it helps a lot of people. It really does. And I know these conversations help a lot of people. So I'm gonna end this on, I have to talk about America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Of course.
Because so how was it when you're up? So when you were on the stage singing, or before you came on, you were very nervous, not that nervous? How nervous?
I was terrified the first time, especially for the first few words. And it wasn't my first time performing on a stage. It was my first time performing on a stage like that. Like I did nursing home performances and stuff like that. So I was terrified, and then like the first few words after, I was like, okay, I've got this. But the relief that I felt,
Yeah.
it was so overwhelming. I cried on stage in front of America.
Yeah.
I still get so embarrassed when I watch that.
Yeah, but it's a joyful release.
Yes, absolutely. And there's also just the perfectionism element that's just glad that I got through it.
Yeah. And then how many weeks till the end?
I think that it was about a month total. Well, so I came in semifinals, and then there was, I sang 4 songs, right? Yeah. Ave Maria. Yeah, 4 songs. So I think it was about 3 weeks.
Did be honest with me right now. Did you, when you're like you and what's his name, Michael Grimm, or Grimm? He could sing,
yeah.
man. He could sing though.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but did you think you're gonna win? Honestly, be honest.
No, actually.
No.
No. The crazy thing is, I did not know what to expect. I didn't know that, the family at home had made terrible towels for me and gathered in auditoriums in schools to watch me. I didn't know that people liked me that much.
Wow.
And so I was just like, hey, at least I get to do this. And Michael Grimm, he was such a sweetheart.
He's great.
Yeah, he's amazing and incredibly talented. So I did not think I stood a chance.
Wow. Well, I would have bet my house that you were going to win, and I thought you won. And then, I'm telling everybody I'm going to interview you. I said, the winner of. All right, listen. I'm not going to keep you anymore. I think this has been I'm going to talk to the audience about you right now, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to say this about Jackie. I don't know what I expected. I knew she'd be nice. I didn't know she would be so open, especially with what she's going through. And it's great that I went through what I just went through because I could so relate to what she was saying. And when I do these talks at the end, I don't script it or anything. It comes right out of me. But I can tell you right now that she's going to help so many young girls out there who are having any kind of issues, not just eating issues, anxiety, bipolar, whatever issue it is. That's why I'd like to do more interviews with with younger people, because I need to reach that younger audience, because they're the ones that need to know what's going on. Because what's going to start happening is they get older, things hit, they're not prepared. So I just want to say, Jackie EVANCHO, you are a gem. Thank you for doing this.
Of course. Thank you.
Oh, somebody wants me to ask something. Tell Maurice that we're going to New York in September. We'd love her to meet Josh. Oh, my son, you can look him up.
Yeah.
His name's Joshua Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife was just asking if he can meet you, but whatever. But he's an actor.
Uh-huh.
I taught him at 13.
Oh.
Yeah, he came to me and said, Dad, I want to be an actor. I said, no, you don't. Yeah, I do, Dad. No, you don't. And then he said, Dad, I really do. So I told him, all right, I'll teach you for a month, see how hard you work. A month later, he comes to me, does a monologue, and I'm like, oh, this is the next James Dean. That's how I thought in my head.
Wow.
He's that good. And but he'd rather sing. He plays the guitar, self-taught guitar, self-taught piano, and
Oh, so he's got it.
oh yeah, you'll check it out if you.
And he's super cute.
Oh, yeah.
And he's very cute. But that's
Are you guys trying to set me up?
no, he's young. He's 19, but like that matters. All right, Jackie. Thank you. You've been great. This has been fun.
Gorgeous.
She's
I
amazing.
agree.
Yeah, thank you so
Never
much.
be ashamed of anything she went
Thank
through.
you.
She just helped people.
State of mind. Bye bye.